Today we're going to talk about the history of the Batcave. Welcome to Comiczooka, my name is Malcolm. Now, the Batcave originally did not debut in the comic books. Actually, it was on the silver screen. Back in 1943, writers of the first Batman serial decided to give Batman an underground headquarters. Now, this headquarters was actually called the Batcave. Bob Kane was at the set when they were filming, and he loved the idea so much that he had to share it with Bill Finger. Together, they started to create the concept that would go, first of all, published in the newspaper comic strip that they were working on. And it wasn't until October of 1943 which they introduced the Batcave, which they added a study, crime lab, workshop, a hangar, and garage. Months went by, and in January of 1944, we get to see the official debut of the Batcave in Detective Comics number 83. Now, the decades have gone by, and writers and artists come up with all sorts of new ideas for the Batcave, such as a trophy room, a supercomputer, a forensic lab. Of course, the floor plan itself changes a lot through the years, without no consistency whatsoever among those ideas. Now, we don't know really about the origin itself, of course, until years later in Detective Comics 205 that came out in March of 1954. It was titled The Origin of the Batcave. It wasn't until this comic book came out we finally find out exactly what was the origin of the Batcave. It is Batman that tells Robin how he found the cave. Basically, he had no idea that the cave even existed when he bought the house. He just discovered it when he was just testing the floors at the old barn at the rear of the property when he accidentally fell through the floor. He found himself in the middle of the cave. It was in the same comic book that also tells us about a frontiersman named Jeremy Cole. They used the cave as a headquarters 300 years earlier, being the first man who actually discovered the cave, and he used it to spy on the Native American tribes that were in the area. This was back in 1754. Another origin story came about regarding the Batcave. It has been somewhat popular recently, that we've even seen it in movies such as Batman Begins, where Alfred reveals to Bruce that during the Civil War, the Waynes used the vast cavern system as part of the Underground Railroad. Now it seems like it was, well, the great-great-grandfather of Bruce that was actually involved with this, helping to transport freed slaves to the north. Now, with this said, we have also seen it also in the comics, where it does mention that the son of Charles Arwin Wayne, called Solomon, which in the comic books is known as Bruce's great-great-great-great-grandfather, was the firstborn Wayne child of the 19th century. He and his brother were raised in Boston, but when the Civil War broke, Charles decided to move his family to Gotham due to the sheep property. Now, through the sheep property, Charles made a name for himself. As the brothers grew older, they also noticed that, well, slavery is just bad, purely bad and evil. So then they got involved with the Underground Railroad for Gotham. Sadly, of course, Charles shortly passed away. Now with this, in November 4th of 1860, tragedy also struck the brothers again, having Joshua die while there was this raid done by bounty hunters at Wayne Manor. These bounty hunters were actually seeking for the Underground Railroad outpost that they did believe was in the area. Now, according to this other origin story, unlike the previous one, it's not Bruce who buys the property, it's actually Bruce's ancestors. And the property itself, or Wayne Manor, has been part of the Wayne family since 1850. Well, that's all the time we have today. Now, if you enjoyed the video, please like and leave a comment in the comment section below. Also, if it's your first time visiting us here at Comiczooka, why not subscribe and hit that little bell so you can always get notification when new videos are up. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, here in Comiczooka, we're saving the day one comic book at a time. See you guys next time.